All right, here we go. Your anti-set today is going to be to do some face plots where I give you the background structure and you fill in the details. So we will start. I'm going to draw them. I'm going to draw an axis. So in this case, I've got my y-axis and my x-axis. I'm going to put a critical point here, and I'm going to put a critical point there. Here we're going to do a saddle that goes in there and then out here. And then I'm going to put concentric circles here. So I'm not going to draw, I guess I'll draw one circle. So here we've got circles. So what I would like you to do is, and actually you can, no, we'll fill in the whole thing. What I would like you to do is see if you can fill in the details the way they were kind of shown to you in that last video. What direction would be implied for this circle? What other circles or shapes would be there? And what would it look like in this region over here? So go ahead, pause, draw this, and see if you can sketch everything in. All right, instead of just showing you the answer, I'm going to go ahead and draw it and talk my way through it. So this circle here, because of this direction going to the right, and then this piece coming down, we do know that this has to go counterclockwise, otherwise we would have a contradiction there. And then what I'm going to do is draw another circle like this. It's going to get hooked back around. Why does it get hooked back around? It gets pulled by that piece. And then we're going to have, we're going to have one that goes like this. So it starts looking almost triangular once I morph it in with this other critical point right here that has a right angle. So I get this, right? And then over here, I'm going to have something like that, something like that. I'll draw that axis in a little bit more, in a little bit more, and like that. We would need more information from the equation to figure out what happens here, whether this crosses, but I'm just going to leave it vague like that. So hopefully you got that, and I will put up the next one. Before I put up the next one, I will say that this is a very specific model that has a name that we'll talk about a little bit later, I hope. In terms of populations, a predator-prey model, and how it would be a cyclic relationship between them. Yes, cyclic. Okay, next one. Okay, so here I'm going to draw a wide axis like that. I'm going to put a critical point here. Going to put a critical point there. And there. I'm going to put a saddle like this. And do the same thing here. Saddle in, out, out. And then I'm just going to draw a circle here to indicate that we've got concentric circles. So that's how I would give it to you, and I would want you to figure everything else out. It looks a little bit similar to the one that you did, the example that you saw previously in the last lecture, but it's not totally the same. So see if you can fill it in, and then I will help you and tell you why I do everything. So pause it. Okay, so we do know that this has to go clockwise. Why is that? Because this goes like this, and this goes like this, and that curve there is going to give me the same direction there. Same thing. This is going to give me that. So the direction gets implied, and then I'm going to draw the next one like this, because it's going to be pretty similar. Oops. Correct direction. And then look, so this one, this guy's not a sink or anything, it's just circles. So what's going to happen here? Well, I think that this guy's going to come around and hit that like that. If they were equally spaced and we know equations, we could show that. So this guy's going to go like this. Even so, there's going to be something that comes out of this region that's going to go into that region. So that's why I can draw those. And then this guy is going to continue out. There's going to be a long line that comes in, long line that comes in, long line that goes out. And then this looks like part of a saddle. This looks like part of a saddle. And this sort of looks like a bumpy saddle. I don't know how you blink like that. If I were to zoom out of this, can I do that? Nope. If I were to zoom out of this enough, then it would look like a saddle. I would have something that would come in like, oops, in like this, not like that. In like this, out like that, in like this, out like that, in like this, out like that. So hopefully that one's good. Okay, this one is going to have 4 critical points. We had one that had 2, then one that had 3, and now this one's going to have 4. This one we're only going to focus on the first quadrant. So, axis, axis. I'm going to put a critical point here, 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 and then I'm going to do one right there as well. Okay, so the one at the origin is going to be a sync node. What I'm going to do is put an eigenvector there and there. I'm not putting anything here. There would be an in vector here that goes boom, and an in vector here that goes boom because of the symmetry of those vectors. But we're only looking at the first quadrant, so I'm going to ignore that stuff. This is the x-axis, y-axis as we normally do it. All right, so next one, I am going to put a saddle. That's going to go right here like that, and then this way and that way. One thing I want to point out is that I got this piece going that direction and this piece going that direction. So I had that smooth flow through there. If, say I said this was a sync in and that went like that, there would be some kind of contradiction. I would need an extra critical point there, right? So this piece is sort of implied by that if everything else is right. Okay, the next one that I'm going to do is similar to that. And I'm going to go like this. And this is going to be a saddle as well that sinks in that direction. It goes out there. And then here it goes to the left, out from that critical point. Notice once again that lines up with this piece. This one, I'm going to tell you that it is a spiral source. So I'm not going to draw any of the source pieces yet. I guess you could make it go, I feel like you could make it go clockwise or counterclockwise, but in this sense it makes more sense to go counterclockwise. So see if you can try that, and then I'll walk you through it. Okay, so if that's a spiral source, then what I'm going to do is have this, the way I like to do this is draw one piece of the spiral and another piece of the spiral that hook up with the other things that I know. So you can see that it would start here, boink, boink, and then it would spiral out. Now you may say to yourself, everyone always says this, that's not a spiral, right? You know, it's not a spiral like some of the other ones that we've done, but it does have that spiral shape to it, right? It goes like, whoo, whoo, right? I don't have to have a big, deep, and then out, right? So you could kind of wind this thing up a little bit more, kind of turn the critical point, spin it, rotate it clockwise, and get that spiral tighter, but this is totally acceptable. So if you had trouble at first and you were like, I don't know what to do, and you just let it play, then see if you can fill this one in now. You should definitely be able to fill in all the guts of this face plot. So hit pause. Okay, so here we go. This guy's going to go like this, sink in. I'm going to have something that goes like that. Something that goes like that. Something that goes like that. What I want you to see is everything in this region here all sinks into this 0, 0. I should have these arrows kind of going that way a little bit more, but kind of ran out of space. And then when I go here, if we start here, we're going to go like that. We're going to go like that. Go like that. That. This guy's going to go like that. So I've got this like source thing that spits everything out in that direction, or this source thing that spits everything down to 0, 0 to this sink. So hopefully you feel okay with these, and I will do a long, full example with all the Jacobian and math and critical points in a moment. Bye.